Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Lunch and Life with Sharon and.
Enjoy.
So we're so excited about this episode because Memorial Day is coming up and the weather's beautiful. Everybody's going to be outdoors and barbecuing. And now that so many things have been lifted, we will be gathering in great numbers, right? In bigger groups.
I know. It seems like we went from nothing to all instead of all to nothing. Like, here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we wanted to do today was Robin's in the kitchen, and she's got some great things lined up, which she'll explain in a minute. And as as she will be going through the recipes, I'm going to share the benefits of some of these foods just to show you that you can have fun and eat healthy. And I'm going to just let you take it away.
Well, I have been having fun. I think I started you don't have to do this actually, but I probably started like 3 hours ago at the farmer's market. So we're starting with gazpacho. We wanted to share fun, easy recipes that you can bring for Memorial Day, whether you're hosting or you're going somewhere, that are healthy, that are delicious, that don't require a lot of time, or frankly are reasonable and just easy to make, right? And you're going to talk about all the benefits. So I've been going in layers here, but we can share the recipes in the description. There are all kinds of recipes for gazpacho soup, but get yourself some good tomatoes and good cucumbers and really onions and a little vinegar, a little olive oil, peppers, and you can use whether it's jalapenos. I got jalapenos just because that's what I could find. You can get Fresno, you can get a mixture of medium, hot, whatever you want to do. The key with these things it's the seeds. It's the seeds that will kill you. So you decide what kind of heat you want and take out the seeds. But I like to roast. So here's the thing that I do that's different than the recipes that I find is instead of putting everything in raw, I roast my tomatoes, my peppers, and my onions. Roast them for a little olive oil, salt, and pepper. Roast them for probably 20 minutes at a 400-degree oven. And then you just start having fun. So this is like last of the bunch to go. But there's all the roasted vegetables in here, a little bit more of olive oil, salt, pepper, fresh lime juice, parsley, cilantro, fresh basil, chives, cucumbers, and all sorts of stuff like that. But what we end up with and of course it gets chilled, and I wish Sharon was here because I have probably a gallon of this now. But
that looks so good.
Here is a bowl of gazpacho, and you can, we'll be eating it today, but just put it in a container and it stores in the refrigerator. I mean, you really probably have a good week with this, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's delicious. And if you need liquid, this is what I would suggest. Sometimes the recipes will call for water. I do not like to use water. I actually will get one of the cans, the larger cans of the roasted tomatoes that are in tomato juice. So steamed tomatoes in its pure juice. If it comes with some chili peppers in there, great, or basil. But otherwise, I don't use water. I just use that. And get a good blender. I have a Ninja. None of these are like paid sponsors. These are just my favorite products, which grinds it perfectly.
Yeah. So I think it's something so interesting that you said that I really want to point out to everybody is the quality, right, of the tomatoes. And, sometimes we go and we'll just go to the supermarket to just like buy tomatoes, but when they're from the farmer's market and they're organic, they are so sweet. There's such a difference. So I would encourage everybody to buy, and organic tomatoes are also more important because tomatoes get sprayed, all vegetables get sprayed with pesticides, but some are more prone to insects. So they get the heavier dose of these pesticides, and tomatoes are one of those foods. But when it's that fresh, it is so delicious. And tomatoes are so healthy for you. They have lipocene, and that's all the heart health benefits, antioxidants. So it's really, it's very nutritious for you. Lots of vitamins and all these other ingredients. Even the cucumber that you add, cucumber alone is like 96% water, and it's cooling and it's refreshing. and it's cleansing. And interestingly, with all of your recipes, these are all summer cooling foods. We want to remove heat from our bodies, except for the jalapenos that you're adding in, which can sometimes be like, okay, add a little spice to that. But gazpacho is just such an amazing all-around great food. The garlic and the onion they have, right? So allicin, which is antimicrobial, antiviral, antibacterial. So this always goes back to the eating whole foods. You can get so much benefits, immune system benefits, digestive benefits from all of these foods. Cilantro is a great chelator for liver detoxification. Like, gazpacho is an awesome dish all summer long.
And it's so easy because, what did I do? And the recipe will be in there, but literally it's a handful of fresh cilantro. It's a handful of Italian parsley. It's a big handful of basil. And literally you roast the tomato, onion, and your hot peppers that you're choosing, and then everything's in a blender.
Yeah.
You can't get easier than that.
I agree. It's such a fantastic food, also filled with vitamin C and potassium. It's a great dish that I can't wait to try, and I want to kind of like reach through and just grab it.
I would try and teach you, but I would spill it on my computer. So
here, taste it, fling. Right into the camera.
Jalapeno.
Oh my God. I remember going to, I was in Austin years ago, and we had gazpacho and we had guacamole. And they said, what do you want? Mild, medium, spicy. And I was like, oh, mild, but no, that's too simple. But spicy, I wasn't so sure about. I'm like, all right, let's just do medium. It was more than medium. So beware of how much spice you add to it.
Definitely. Well, I was recently in Austin moving, my middle guy, and they love their spice, and it's fantastic Mexican food, like fantastic. But yes, they bring on the heat.
Yeah. The other thing I want to bring up is, Robin sharing that she went to the farmer's market. Whoever, this is such a great time of year to support your local farmers, all the fresh produce, and make it a family event, right? Take your kids if you've got young kids. Let them help you to choose all the fruits and vegetables, and take the time to be present and just pick up that tomato and just smell how delicious it's going to taste because of the aroma. It can be a great family outing.
Yeah, it was great. It really was great. And I totally agree with you. Growing up, we lived, it's sort of a dead end. There was a big farm actually behind us. And I remember I would get to walk down, and even during the week, my mom was like, go down and get some corn for dinner or get some tomatoes. And where our street ended was the fields. And so you'd have to walk through the fields to get to the stand. But you'd like picking up your vegetables as you would go. It was such a treat. So I grew up kind of doing that, but in New York of all places. So.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting. I have a similar, I didn't walk to the farm, but we had everything delivered from the farm to us. And I grew up on Long Island, so it's just, you never know.
Yeah. Gazpacho, it's great, and it's one of those things that, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's such an easy dish.
So. Agreed. So what's next on the menu?
So next on the menu, let me slide one dish, bring in another. A nice cooling salad, very easy to make. Watermelon, feta cheese, and mint. And let me turn this down so I don't dump it. Here we go. I put it on a bed of arugula just because it looks pretty and I like arugula. And it's easy, right? How easy is that?
I love everything about that salad. It's one of my favorites. And I love watermelon. People think, oh, watermelon, it's just got too much sugar in it, but it's water mostly, and it's got antioxidants, and watermelon is such a refreshing refreshing food for the body. It's also like all of these cooling fruits for the summertime, but watermelon has something that's called citrulline. So it's an amino acid that helps to build nitric oxide levels in our body, which helps our blood vessels expand, which lowers our blood pressure, which helps with circulation. It's also, it's another heart healthy food. It's got all different vitamins and potassium. I mean, literally, I could probably live on watermelon and have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, what's great with this as well is that, people say, I don't like making salads, or my kids don't like salads. And you can put the bed of lettuce under there. Like, there's so much you can do with a salad. Kids love this. And if they don't really like, their palate isn't really ready for mint yet, so what? You can leave that off. You can put anything on it. You can put parsley. You don't even have to put anything, just some of the feta, or leave the feta off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can mix it in and you can start getting them to create a different palette for salads. But this is piece of cake.
Yeah. So that's so interesting.
Grab a fork, but I won't.
I want to grab a fork and stick it through the video, and really, I'm like stabbing at it. So you made another interesting point here about kids not always liking everything that's on the plate. And, you and I both have kids. We have a lot of viewers who do, some who don't, it's not here or there. But what's interesting is that with kids, we need to expose them to these foods over and over and over and over again. Just because they see it and say once no, or go like, ew, and they make a face, they need to be exposed to a food 10 to 15 times before they might even try it.
Right. And then even if they take a bite, right? And the other thing with this is, so, we're dairy free in the house. So I want to bring up, so this feta cheese is dairy free. It's by a company called BioLife, which I think again, this is not sponsored. I just like their product. So nobody think anything past that. It's basically a block of, whoops, now I'm dripping. It's a block of cheese, of feta cheese, which breaks up really nicely. It's made with coconut oil. It's GMO free. Wow, I'm now making a mess. I get the cheese back in the fridge, but it's 100% vegan and gluten free and soy free and dairy free and everything else that you need. Nut free, preservative free. Got a whole list of stuff. Now, is it 100% healthy? I'll let you go for that. But sometimes you have to make a choice, right? So I wanted the cheese in it because I like cheese. So this is my indulgence and my alternative that I go for.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because so many times, and I know that when I'm working with my clients, they think it's all or none. And it's really about choice. It's about just figuring out what your body needs. So, and if you're dairy-free or gluten-free, it doesn't mean just grabbing a product that says dairy-free or gluten-free. You have to be a detective and you have to read your labels. So Robin, you were sharing that coconut oil and potato starch, and what else was in that?
Oh yeah, I'm putting it back in the bag. Coconut oil, potato starch, sea salt, olive extract, and vitamin B12. Which is interesting.
So this is what's beautiful about reading labels, and it's GMO free. Go ahead, put it back in the fridge now that everybody's seen it. Is that it's what can I substitute something with, but it'll also give me some benefits. Now, that's not to say some people might just say, let me just have the feta cheese. And if you know your body and every once in a while you want to have a little cheese and you don't react to it, that's your call. It's okay, right? With everything that we do, it's all about you and what you feel like having. But if you're going to have something that is dairy-free, know what the ingredients are and make sure it's not like 30 ingredients that you don't understand what any of it is.
Right. And I will say this, according with that, since I have been more dairy-free, well, really dairy-free for probably almost a year now, like solid, I have noticed, because I love cheese, there's certain cheese that I can tolerate, and there's a lot that I can't. So I've noticed that I do step back from regular cheeses. Like, I used to love blue cheese, and for whatever reason, it killed me now. So this is not the cheapest brand, but it's one of the cleaner brands. So
right.
it's worth the investment.
Right, absolutely. And again, it's like being a detective. And if you don't understand what the ingredients are, then you question, okay, do I want this to be part of that 15 to 20% of, I take care of my body. Let me have it once in a while. Then say okay to it and don't feel guilty or feel bad about it. We make ourselves feel bad enough about everything. So we want to be able to make some choices that we're going to have fun and say, okay, did it, good, move on.
Exactly. So sorry you can't have any of this. But.
Well, the other thing, just one more thing I wanted to say about even the mint is how mint is also beneficial for the body. It can help to reduce indigestion, it could help IBS, having like mint tea, taking mint, fresh mint, and just steeping it in water, warm water, it will release a lot of those benefits. So all types of herbs, I mean, they're just so beneficial for you. It's like whenever you have a chance, just throw them all in.
I love mint. I am a mint person.
Yeah. Well, my mouth is watering, and I should have eaten first before we did the show.
Around the corner.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Okay, so that's our delicious watermelon feta mint salad over arugula. Love that combination.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. All right, so to bring it home, so I found that now that we're getting out and we're going to be going to either we're hosting or we're going to a barbecue, or we're just going to want to cook kind of the Memorial Day menu. Having a vegan and having and going somewhere, we like to have the burgers or the hot dogs or whatever that could be, right? And if you're vegan or not. So yes, you can indulge in the, Impossible burgers or whatever that is. I have gotten to start making these portobello, let's say that.
Tongue twisted 3 times.
Portobello mushroom sliders. For a couple of reasons. Initially, when half my family was turning vegetarian and the other half wasn't, the boys tend to love flank steak. So I would make like sandwiches, and so they could have like flank steak sandwiches, and we started to transition with portobello mushrooms. So this is minus the bread. Again, it's on arugula. I didn't put bread out. So these are roasted portobello mushrooms, the smaller size. So they're like a slider size. It's stuffed with, so to roast them, it's the mushroom, a little olive oil just drizzled on it, and then kale pesto sauce.
Ooh.
And then that's roasted until it's kind of the color it looks. And then I just top it with like a ground roasted red pepper.
Oh, wow. That looks so delicious.
So your choice is you can either eat it without bread if you don't want any bread. Now my mouth is watering because now I'm hungry. Or take a bunch of the arugula and the mushroom slider and put it on whatever kind of flatbread. That's what I typically do, some sort of flatbread that you want, or bun or something like that. And then you're not missing out when everyone else is eating their burger or hot dog or chicken sandwich or whatever. Now, I will say this, I was telling Sharon that we had gone to Neighbors years ago, and I only made enough for my daughter and I think my husband had one, and everyone wanted to try it. So I was like, of course I'm gonna let people try it, but I only made like 5 or 6, and we didn't get any. Like, ate them. All the carnivores wanted our mushrooms. But it goes for 2 things then, right? So be ready to taste different things because they really taste very good. And mushrooms are meaty, right? So yes, it doesn't taste like a hamburger, but they're meaty and they're delicious and they're hearty. But if you go, make extras because you'd be surprised. People like this. So
yeah. And it's so, I always say, oh, it's so interesting, right? But when people see something new, a lot of times they do want to try it, so I can't believe that you didn't have any for yourself.
And I tend not to really say much more than, oh, it's a roasted mushroom, it's a roasted mushroom with pesto and
Yeah.
red peppers. And so people are like, oh, that looks great. Well, it is, but
And mushrooms are so good for you. It's They're filled with also antioxidants and selenium and potassium. At the end of the day, a lot of times my clients will say, well, what food should I eat for lower cholesterol or for, to get more vitamin A? If you really just focus on eating whole foods, and looking at all the different colors of the rainbow and trying even the watermelon with it or the gazpacho, like all these different combinations, you're getting a wide variety of nutrients that your body needs. So like focus on the whole foods, focus on how can I incorporate as many colors of the rainbow into my meals. And then you know that you're going to be getting really some beneficial nutrients for your body.
Yeah, I agree. And I think like this is like more than enough for dinner, lunch and dinner. Actually, I've got soup, a salad, and mushrooms. There's three in the house, so 3 soups, 3 salads, and each get a mushroom.
Well, hold on. Let me Google map how long it's going to take me to drive to your house. No, I think 4 hours is too far.
I can keep it going. Getting started.
Wow. And here's another beautiful thing about all of these recipes. It's not just for Memorial Day. You have Father's Day coming up and July 4th and a whole summer where everybody wants to be outside now. Everybody's getting back together again. We're looking to have fun, and colors add to that joy, eating all these colors, right? You surround.
Absolutely. I'm sorry.
No.
will say this too. So because it's hot and we do want to get outside, we don't want, the heat in the kitchen sort of thing. I literally on one cookie sheet on parchment paper, on the same oven, 400 degrees, the mushrooms were going, the tomatoes were going, pulled one out while I was working on the tomato stuff, on the gazpacho. So the oven has been off, the house is cool. It's easy, right? It's totally easy.
Right. And that is key. We need and want to keep everything simple, because then simple, you'll do it. When it gets too complicated, and if you're into complicated, that's okay too.
Not me, but go ahead. Good.
Yeah, not me either. But especially with the days getting longer and warmer, color brings joy. Flowers, food, fruits, and vegetables. And as we're wrapping up, May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, having all of this, being together, all these colors does bring you joy, which makes you happy, and reduces that mental angst and anxiety, right? So,
and good, healthy food, right?
yeah, yeah.
Information and all that sort of stuff. So it all kind of helps and works together. So.
Absolutely. So on that note, we hope everyone has a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. And as always, love unpacking lunch with you, Robin.
I love unpacking lunch with you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.